Welcome to the video. Before we dive into the topic and showcase the whole thing, I just want to say massive thank you guys. We reached 1k subs and that means a lot for me. It motivates me to keep building my stuff, to keep learning and keep presenting you stuff because I see you find value and learn something from my videos. So that's a big deal for me, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. You motivate me to continue doing my stuff. You motivate me to continue learn and present you guys with new knowledge, including red teaming, hacking, and maybe even blue teaming. Why not? So we're definitely gonna continue the series, and we're definitely gonna bring up more and better content. So thank you so much. Now let's bring to the main point: Nim Shellcode Runner. The video was about Nim, and it's all about the last stream last night. I streamed on Twitch, and the full stream is gonna be uploaded here, and that's in a nutshell what we've learned. The idea was to pretty much get in touch with Nim, see how it compiles, how it runs, and how the whole programming languages operates on very basic level. We implemented system commands, and we implemented, of course, our shellcode runner, which was our main goal. It was fun. There was a lot of challenges, like doing it with syntax and doing it with generics, but we did great since our shellcode was just working fine. So take a night seat, get your popcorn, and enjoy the session and my struggles in debugging generics. See ya! Alright. I think we're fine now. Nice, alright. So we're good to go, and let's start by discussing the main point of today's stream, and that's to learn about nim. So apparently a lot of guys on the cybersec community are so hyped up about nim, and now is the time to see why and why that's the case. So I have my command VM right there, and I think that this should be enough, and most of the work is gonna be done from here. So let's see. First one, of course, is to see how we can run nim and what does it can do. So let's first Google nim and get some like general knowledge about the whole programming language. Nim is general purpose multi-paradigm statically typed compiled system programming language. Alright, so we're gonna compile because when we're talking about programming, we either compile or we interpret. For example, on the C, we compile some code into a binary, and then the binary is being like we have code, we compile it, then we have an executable like that decryptor.exe. You saw my last videos. And on in Python, for example, we are not compiling anything, but we are interpreting. So we have, for example, a piece of code, and we have even Python, and the scripts go and runs one single line at a time, one by one, and that's how it executes things. So it looks like that nim is a compiled language. All right. So we have the official site right there, which is going to be nim-lang.org. We can install nim right here, obviously. Then we have some kind of a sample code. So a lot of things here, I'm not sure what they are. So for example, of course, we have the imports, but the libraries are kind of like in strange format. We have std for maybe standard, and then str format maybe for string format, not sure. That's how we most likely define object. So by saying type, I mean classes. For example, in Java or C Sharp, you have that classes which in whatever resemble structures in C, and maybe that's why how you define a class, like person object, and that object is gonna be equal, is gonna be having name is gonna be string, age is gonna be natural, ensures the age is positive. All right. Then we have let, so maybe that's how we define a variable. So now I most likely the array is being defined here, array of person, and that's how you specify like parameters or instantiation of the object. Not sure. So give me just a minute, please. All right. That's how we do for loops. So for person in people, that's like some kind of a Python thing. The next thing that I can right away see is that the parsing, the whole structuring of the language is like Python. For instance, we're not having that curly brackets we have in C or C Sharp or Java, but we have like tab separations from Y. So you can see that iterator, I'm not sure what that means, but some kind of maybe like a for each, I'm not sure. We have an iterator and we define something there, and then we have tab, and then we have for, then we have another tab. So we have two tabs here. Then we have if, and then three tabs here. So that's how you structure things, like just the same in Python. And then for out, yeah, we standard each for each loop, for right. Good. All right. So I know that by just simply reading things, we're not gonna be able to understand it quite well, but that's just a nice overview of how the language is being structured. And the good thing about that is we have another samples, for example, if and switch statements, because I'm sure in Python, I'm not sure actually, but in Python I haven't seen a switch statement, but like a bunch of if statements. Then that's how we define ifs, and that's how we define like switch. But what that got my attention is that we have let people something, and then we have var something. So most likely we have two ways of declaring things, and we're gonna need to to take a moment for actually reading what that's all about. But let's just first install that thing and try to compile a simple like hello world program. So 64-bit, of course, configuring path environment variable, so we have a zip file there. All right, let's go to desktop. Let's do a folder nim there and store everything there. Let's extract that. And I believe that maybe that's the compiler itself. Maybe. So we're gonna need to do user profile nim bin. So inside bin we maybe have that nim.exe, which is gonna most likely that's most likely the compiler. Alright, so we're gonna need to copy that. Go to my C, or actually that this PC properties. And where was that? Advanced, environment variables, path, new, and paste that in here. So now I believe whenever I run PowerShell and I type nim, for example, we should be able to get it to run. Yeah, all right. So that's nice. We have, that's the compiled CLI. So we have nim command option project file argument. So command is going to be like C for compile, compile to nim cache. I'm not sure what that is. Generate the documentation for input file. Maybe that's nice. So it has some kind of feature for auto-generating documentation, which is nice, I believe. So, all right, all right. Let's continue. We have the arguments. So that path, define, symbol. I'm not sure what most of these are, but runtime checks, assertions. So maybe that's for like testing, testing things. That some function is gonna output exactly what it's supposed to output. Alright, evo, cmd, evaluate nim code directly. Also, we can run nim as a like as a Python as well. So I can do nim eval and then type like ipconfig, maybe, maybe not. So what happens here? And the craft identifier ipconfig nim dash dash eval nim dash dash eval, and in quotes you have the command. So that's not executing Yeah, all right. So that's not executing system commands because with the eval, I was thinking that CMD could be directly translated to a OS command, but that's not the case, obviously. So you can pretty much run a native nim code, as far as I see this. You can run native nim code like that. So maybe if I do ipconfig.exe, maybe, no, not the case. All right, so never mind. Now, since we have nim, I believe that we should edit that in Visual Studio Code because that's the like number one editor out there. So let me just open a new file, or actually I'm gonna go to my desktop, go to nim, and generate a new folder like hello world. And I'm gonna open the folder with the Visual Studio Code there. Hello world, where is it? Desktop, nim. All right. Now let's search for nim extensions. So let's go here, type nim. Mm, that thing has like 63k download, so maybe I'm gonna stick to that. So let's just go with that. All right, all right. It's been installing. Let's go to the Explorer and type new file. Let's go like start.nim. Good. So first question, since that's compile thing, do we need to define some kind of a main method? So basic math. I'm not seeing main method. All right. So let's try with a simple one. Let's do like equal one. And if I do cd nim cd desktop nim hello world and type nim c and start.nim, that should compile it, and we have error. The first error, guys, we're going somewhere. Nice. So we have invocation of external compiler program failed. The system cannot find the file specified. The request command not found. gc.exe. We ran in gc, but why? I think we built in nim. Oh, after all the languages have going to C. Yeah, never mind. So what was the syntax? We have nim c and then the file. All right. So nim c and start.nim. Maybe the PowerShell is bugging things up, so I'm gonna run that with the CMD and type nim c start.nim. No, it's not the PowerShell, so I'm gonna exit that. And let's see, let's Google our first ever. Let's see what that is. I'm wondering what's gonna happen if I try to compile an empty file. So we're gonna run that again, and again we have that same invocation. gc.exe, gc. Maybe we're gonna need gc as well. Yeah, maybe that's the case. So gc download Windows. I'm sure that we have gc maybe because we have that defc post compiling thing, but I'm not sure if that's using some kind of wrapped version of gc or virtualized. Not sure. uh it's really weird that command VM doesn't have gc by default. So gc, not the case. Never mind. All right, we're gonna install it, guys. No worry about it. So continue. The application is already installed. Right, so I'm gonna go to C and here and here. So it looks like we have it. Nah, that's getting too complicated. What do we do now? So it looks like that's installed. All right, simple question. Let's start with the simple ones. Let's go like install gc actually gc.exe download. Right. I'm not sure that gc for Windows. All right, that looks promising. So let's go to download. Mhm. And let's see what that is. We also have that binaries project here. So we have cguin project and then ming.w, which we just downloaded. And so that strange packet there. So not sure what that is. Let's quit that. And maybe we can go as well with cguin. Not sure. So all right. Let's see what that gcx is doing. Ah, yeah, never mind. So let's find a way to install that ming.w thing. So here, run that again. Maybe we're gonna need that. Maybe that. And that's it, I believe. So let me just go to installation, apply changes, apply. That should download and install things. I was trying to avoid as much as I can for the one reason that is pretty much, as you can see, we have full of dependencies here. So pretty much what's gonna happen is if I install something that requires something that's not installed, I can get an error and end this debugging session of what did I miss. So generally when I see such things like a giant list of dependencies or libraries, stuff like that, I try to evade it as much as I can because, I'm not liking struggling for that piece of thing. So that should be fine by now. Well, that's been running. Let's see what the error says. In the Windows install page, there is no the zip file includes simple application called finish.exe that can attempt to. Oh, so we've missed something. All right. So on the download thing, Windows, we've done that, and yeah, we have compiled dependencies. Ah, stream. Why didn't we just read these things there? Nim compiler needs the compiler in order to compile software. I just realized that. You can use finish.exe to install ming.w. The following versions have known to work with the latest version of nim, so let's do that. Installation using choosenim. Choosenim is an installer for nim programming language that allows you to easily switch between versions of nim. Alright, so let's see what that is. Hmm. That Ming stupid was just downloaded, and I'm seeing that there's nothing. Oh, so there we are. That's what I'm looking for. As you can see, we have gc.exe here. So we're gonna, even we have g++. So we're gonna do the same process. We're gonna actually copy that. I'm gonna remove that stupid terminal from here. It did not did anything, or we did not did anything, but never mind. So I'm gonna remove that thing from here. Yes, and just copy. Oh, you should have. It should need some time. Never mind, it's fine. Alright, it's being copied. Let's go here, paste. Alright, now let's go here, bin, copy the address, go with the very same steps we did before. So this desktop properties, advanced, environment variables, path. Oh yeah. Paste that in here. Okay, okay, okay. And now I should be able to run GCC from PowerShell or from nim or from CMD. Apologize. So if I do GCC, yeah, we have it. All right. Good. Now let's go to desktop nim hello world and then do the same command nim c start.nim. And that time we can see we don't have the same error. So let's just give it a moment to analyze the output. So we have this config file. So we most likely have some kind of a config file that determine how we're gonna execute things, how we're gonna compile things with nim. So let's take a look at that. There's the config file. We have gcpath. We have some paths, some hard-coded variables. I'm not understanding a single thing from here, just the paths variables. If that's Unix, so looks like that nim is that system independent language. Pretty much, if I were to run the same code on Linux and on Windows, it's gonna be built without any kind of problems. I believe that's the case. So that's what I think the one of the powers of nim. Good. So that's the config file. Didn't get much of it, so I'm sure that every single one of these things has some kind of a meaning, but it's really still unknown to me. So let's just leave it for now. But I see it as is just some kind of configuration or some kind of predefined values that's gonna optimize your compiling process, and I have to call that for like I just installed nim and they are here. So someone said there and think, that's gonna be needed, so let's just put it there. So that's why I'm not gonna touch it. So we have that compiled version and it's not doing anything, but we have that start.exe which is already like 180 megabytes. So let me just like do explore that here. Yeah, 1 megabyte and how much was that? Yeah, 176 kilobytes. Never mind. So if I run that, nothing should happen. If I run that with PowerShell, nothing happened. So let me try to modify the code once again. So echo1 or echo high for hello world. And make it capital because why not. Then compare it again. Also, we are currently in the debug build, but we can change that to release by specifying the D argument. So maybe something like Visual Studio, when you are in the debug, you're generating more metadata. So we're gonna try that out as well. Now if I run start.exe, we have hello world. So that's how far we became. We came. We have hello world program. Nice. Now I wanna see that by compiling that using just C and the file name, we have 185 kilobytes. All right. Now if I do the same thing with, oh, I'm going to sleep now. With dash D and release, let's see the amount of size it generates. Argument cannot be given if the run option is selected. All right. Not sure what you want. So D release. All right. Maybe I need to specify it here. Yeah, that's more like it. So it's fine now. And as you can see, just the same file, the same code. In the first time we had like 185 kilobytes. Now we have 165, which worked with like 2000 kilobytes, and that's nice. That's nice. So it's the same thing with Visual Studio. It generates more metadata, and pretty much whenever we need to do something like AV version or stuff like that, we just need to pretty much do release things there. All right. So now we can go into the coding part. Now, what do we want to code? So that's obviously the first question, because if you don't know what to code, then what are you actually doing? So my idea is to code some kind of a shellcode runner in nim. So I'm doing that completely in Vive. I'm not having any kind of notes about nim or anything whatsoever. So if you're watching, you may see me struggle a little bit. So, but that's nice. So let's open up my Kavi box. And I want to see, the first thing I want to see is that if we can pretty much generate a shellcode for nim, because as you know, in MSF Venom we can do like format and specify C Python, C Sharp, and so on. So let's see if we can specify actually nim. The second thing I want to look at is how to invoke Windows APIs through nim. So nim Windows API. So we have post in Reddit, and since we don't have post in Stack Overflow, I might think that it's gonna be kind of harder, since not a lot of people were dealing with that. Or actually, I can narrow the search by typing nim and virtual avok. We have virtual protect, which is signing, I believe, the flags for the memory execution. So, all right, yeah, we have the virtual avok here, and we have mem. I'm thinking that's a C syntax. There's a shellcode, but why it's in format C sharp? Does it support that format? That's strange. So let's log into my Kali. Do like MSF Venom, P Windows, yeah, same thing, and type nim. Let's see what's gonna happen now. It's gonna be either say wrong format or generate something. Come on. So the strange thing is that it's in format C sharp. Alright. So we're gonna shellcode virtual protect. We're gonna shellcode virtual protect. I'm not sure what that is, so we're gonna dive into documentation to see maybe some kind of flags. Not sure. We need to import that to Win, I believe, to access Windows APIs. So the syntax is kind of strange. I mean, it really is. Alright, so let me go back here. And we don't have anything. So that's why guys are doing it with C sharp. So C sharp. That's gonna generate something, so we don't need to watch it like a little baby. Now let's import the library. So let me just go here and let's try to analyze the code and see how that thing really works, because there's some missing pieces. I'm wondering what they are. So we have proc. So maybe proc is defining a function. Maybe. So if I do like proc and type test and type nothing and then type ehu1 like that, and I run test here, nothing happened. All right, let's go back to nim documentation. We need to dive deeper, so I'm not gonna need that here. That's how we define object. I'm not sure what that macro thing is. Use nim's macro system transform dense data centric description of x86 instructions into lookup tables. Whoa, nice. That actually can be nice. We have const, so maybe that's how we define constant variables. Maybe, not sure. And pretty much that's it for here. So maybe let's go to string operator. No. Comprehension. Not either. Let's go to more examples and do like if. Alright, let's do it like that. Nim declare method. That's how we read line. Nice. Alright, that's how we run things with arguments. So we can pass system arguments there. Yeah, that's how we change the debug version. That's nice. I believe that in nim they should be called functions because pretty much the method is like more for OOP languages like Java and C Sharp, and functions are more for like C and whatever languages. So it's not that. Maybe functions. Yeah, so we have proc something. That's how we accept something, all right? And that's how we actually define the output of the function. So maybe we have syntax error. So we have proc test, we define nothing, but we want to see to return what? String? Maybe? Alright. And now do we have return? Not sure. Is that a valid piece of code there? Let me just copy and paste that. Yeah, it is. So why that is not? Maybe I'm missing argument. So let me try that. Oh yeah, that's why we return things. So we're missing not the argument, but the return. So we're gonna do return and actually 1. Alright, that should be it. Come on. Let's see actually how the verbose is the output of that. So we have cannot open file. Alright, let's just remove that. Let's run it again. Invalid indentation. Maybe you forgot equals. We're gonna need the so it's here. And now everything just went boo. Alright, so now if I do like that, and we're nice. Now it compiled without any kind of errors. Good. So how do we invoke that function now? Yeah, nice, we have function, but what do we do with that now? So maybe, yeah, that way. So let's do it ihu and test. Good. Now it's been used. Let's compile again. Go with start.exe, and then we have 1. All right. So that's how we do logic operations. That's how we do like functions. That's how we pretty much operate with nim on a basic level. So that's nice. Now it's time for real thing. It's time to try to do very basic weaponization of that process. So my idea is the following. Let's find a way to execute the code, the shellcode. So let's start with the very basic. How do I execute commands on nim? So nim execute Windows commands. So we're gonna use import process os proc, and here we're gonna do cmd ex. All right, so let's do it like that. Let's remove the PowerShell.exe GCI. And now that's nice. So let's try to compile once again. It compiled, I believe. Good. If I do start, and we can see it worked. So even though it fucked up my formatting, and I hope that my Twitch is not getting banned. So even though it screwed up my formatting, we can see that it works. So maybe, can I save that thing into a variable? So let me try. Let output is gonna be equal to, is gonna be int, or actually string, and then let's do like output is gonna be equal to that, and then we're gonna return the output. All right. Let's see, will requires initialization. Sorry about that. Initialization. Yeah. Let's try with var then. Maybe it does not require. And yeah, so that's the main difference between let and var. The var does not require initialization, so pretty much you can declare an empty string, or by I'm thinking that's the way, but when having let, you need to initialize like the object, in that case the string one. Yeah, hi. Pogo Monkey, hi man, I'm here. It's all fine. Trying to learn Nim. What about you? Of course, I don't mind asking. Ask as much as you want, and I'm happy that uh, Twitch thing chat there is working. I just set it up. So I believe that's how we just save the output of the command into a variable. So if I run that, let's see now. Yeah, that's it. So we can see we've done the output, and as you can see, if we have watched my video about like doing stager in C, we were having a really tough time parsing the output of command to a variable. If I were to open that thing up, so let me just find it. Where is it? Stager.c sd. You can see that here's my command, and first of all, I need to, let's say, either have a pointer to a string, or we have many ways of doing that, but the ways I did it here is, and found it, was to pretty much have a pointer to command, and then we define an array which gonna contain like the full bytes of the output. So we're gonna need to know that, and that's gonna be known if you were to go to Kali, you define a new shellcode, and you have the size here. And so when you go there, you need to define the exact size you want, and then you're gonna open that in some kind of a file operator. We're gonna have file popen command with a read mode. Then we're gonna run the command, and while that's being running, the output is being parsed character at a time. So one character, one character, one character in a while loop until it's over, and then we close the pipe. So all these things, like all these things, are representing that. So it's kind of mind blowing, yeah. So Poga, yeah, I'm making stages. I have made a stager on my YouTube channel like several, not sure, weeks ago. That's the code, and you can watch it on my YouTube. I'm not sure about the link now, but feel free to go to my channel and just find it. In the video, it's called Stager in C or something like that. Yeah, so that's how you do that on C. So pretty much what that is doing. Let me just walk you through since you asked. You just download a shellcode which is generated with MSFBM in a binary file, then just on runtime just parse it into a variable called code, and then just allocate memory for that code and run it. That's it. So like allocate memory, write the shellcode to memory, to that allocated region you have, and then just execute it with that thing here. And that I know the syntax is going crazy, but what that essentially means is that you're with such syntax, in a nutshell, you are making possible for shellcode to get executed, like you run it as a function. So that's the whole idea about that strange looking syntax over there. Never mind. So let's close that and let's continue with nim. So pretty much that's how you execute system commands. So just by having that, the ability to execute commands, we can weaponize the code. For example, we can perform like a netcat stages there, or some kind of manual injection points, or we can perform like dropping techniques, never mind. But so far so good. Now we want to do quite the same as we did on C. So we want to execute a shellcode. That's why let's continue our search. Nim virtual awok or nim mem copy. We have an inform there. So that's the syntax of mem copy. So it's like the same on C. Now we don't need that. Process injection using nim. All right. Nim shellcode. Nice. So the syntax looks kind of scary. So we're gonna import the same thing, but I am not sure why in the previous one that thing was getting errored. So import that, import os-pros, then we define a function called inject create remote thread. All right. And what are these flags? Let's try to search about them. So let me remove that. And I'm sure that one of the examples had that strange type of flags there. Yeah, it is. All right. So thanks to nim's iterator and yield constructs, iterators are easy to write as ordinary functions. All right. And then they are complicated to inline loops. Yeah, thank you so much for stepping by, Pogo Monkey. And we're gonna do Silver Part 2 with userware sometime in the future, I believe. That in several weeks, I believe. I cannot confirm the exact date, but stay tuned for Part 2. Yeah, thank you so much. So that's some kind of iterators there. But what are these things are doing? So that's kind of a strange syntax. We define it by iterator or number, idxt, array idxt, and t is gonna be equal to something for x in a, and we can perform like a simple logic there. Let's try to Google more information about that. Nim iterator. It doesn't get better, so that's an object. Maybe an iterator is not what we're looking for, so let's see now. Is that int even used somewhere? Not sure. And was that nim whisper there? All right. As far as I see, huh? That looks interesting. So we're gonna leave that for later because we are still struggling to see what the hex are these things right there. So we have the following example from the shellcode runner we saw. So not that, but even that has it. So we can see that we define a method the same way we did, like proc test, and then we do something like that. So what I want to do now, oh, so thank you for sharing that link. Actually, I'm gonna copy it here. Alright, generic. Generics in nim means to parameterize procs, iterators, or types of data parameters. Depending on the context, the brackets are used either to introduce type parameters or to instantiate a generic proc, iterator, or type. The following example shows how a generic binary tree can be modeled. Oh, so we have the size and the type. That's why we always have that S and I and T's there. That's nice. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Nice. Good. So, yeah, so that's the T here. The type. All right, good. Let's play around with that a little bit. So, that's how I genuinely learn things better. So if I were to copy that, and pretty much I can define onto my main function, which can become like that. And I'm gonna save the string there. And then, oh, so that's how we pass arguments maybe. So I can say here, we can do like Yahoo array maybe. Alright, and now I'm gonna pass, and something went wrong. Generic type to construct fixed length arrays. Maybe 1. The first element. Because maybe if I were to type like Yahoo the array, we need to whoop through every single element in order to see it. But maybe that's not the case. So yeah, with var array as a with some kind of generic type and size. So let me go back to here and see what that means. Mhm. Generics. Yeah, so I'm kind of still struggling to get that. Let me go back to the very simple example. Oh, so yeah, we need to print the payload, not the array. I'm making stupid mistakes. So not the array, but payload, like that. Now it should be fine. Come on. Nope. Payload dot I or t. That's not how it works. So that thing should be fine without me printing anything. But it's not. Invalid indentation. So not sure why it's invalid. We have output is being string. Yeah, now it works. Yeah, I guess I was guessing so that the echo payload should work, but it's not. So if I were to type echo payload, nothing happens. So the error is here. Attempting to call undeclared function, undeclared routine. Expression cannot be called. Expression do string var output do string identifier expected, but something. So I'm doing stupid things. I want to somehow try and work with that kind of parameters there because that's literally the first time I see something like that. So I'm still not sure what these are. So string, no, it's not here as well. You could remove the parentheses after proc test. You mean that one here, I believe you're saying? And nothing there. Nothing happened. So maybe if I were to Google nim and that, let's see now. And we're back again. Alright, so let's just get out of here. Mm, what if this code in English? Like this. Uh, yeah, it should be somewhere around here, but but I'm not sure where exactly. Alright, let's try that. Proc test. And it works. What? What's the difference here? Ah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It was, yeah, just stupid. Yeah, sorry about that. Never mind, we're fine. So if I was to type echo the payload, it's gonna be nice. And now, what do I pass to that? How do I pass the payload? Maybe if I do ASD. Yeah, parentheses have the. All right, thank you so much. Now, how do I pass that? We have size and type, payload. We define some kind of array, and we're expecting string. So how do I pass something to that? Mhm. Let's try it like that. Array is gonna be equal to array. Why not? Not gonna happen. Not the case. Oh, it worked maybe. Maybe. So let me try to compile that. Looks like it did compile. So let's try now stuff.txt. And we printed that echo payload printed the XOO. So pretty much something's going on there. Because let's try it like that. A and B. Maybe. No, that's not the case. So nim define array. Wow. Let name's gonna be that. But I don't have that type. Oh, alright. So let's do it like that. And then that. Oh, the size of the array is encoded in the type and cannot be accidentally lost. Therefore, procedure taking an array of variable length must be encode the length in its type parameter. Alright, so we have proc_zip, we have the same I and t there. AB is gonna be array of something, that the same thing. And now that syntax is so crazy, man. I'm really very pissed off. Then we have that dots and then array tuple AB. That's not gonna work. We need something more simple. We're not doing any kind of mathematical equations there because they are hard by themselves. And when you combine them with a language that you know nothing about, it's gonna become harder. So we're gonna stick to that. So I'm gonna define the addresses. All right. And maybe I type names here. and instead of type is not char, it's that. Hmm. That's odd again. Cannot evaluate at compile time. Yeah, the problem is that I'm not sure what I'm doing, so pretty much I'm not needing that. Now, since nim has type interface, you don't always have to specify the type. So name is gonna be 1 and 2. It's actually name array 2 int. Oh, so you were saying that I can do like let name equals 1 and 2, and that's it. Alright, then type name here. And type mismatch. Got an array of int, but expected one of string. So let me encode that. Let's call it var. Alright, that seemed to work. Now let's try to compare it again. I just wondering how to play around with these ints there and how to pretty much uh, print the payload of the function, because I know if I print the payload, I should know how to execute it. So let's just go to here, do stuff.exe, and then we have 1, 2. All right, so that's the case. That's how we passed variables and things like that. So far so good. We learned how to run system commands, parse variable, and I'm not going through whoops and ifs in general programming stuff because they are known to everybody. You just have to look at the syntax, but that's how we pass things. All right, so now let's get into the serious parts and let's try to do something with that. And whenever we are doing something with the language that we are not sure how it works, what do we do? Research. So let's go to what was it? Nim, shellcode, maybe, and simple. Why not? A simple PLC for obfuscating nim shellcode. I'm not wanting to obfuscate it. I just want to execute it. We have nim packer. Not sure if that's the case. Yeah, not that. All right, good. So let's try with the first things. Invoke nim Windows APIs. Let's remove all these. And let's search how to invoke Windows APIs. Alright, so what is Nimbo? The fuck? So let's try to import that with him by its own. Yeah, it errored out. So Nimbo may be some kind of a package installer for Nim, like the NuGet thing for Java, for .NET. Alright, so what do we do with that? With Nim. I'm gonna do yes. Come on. Winning not found. Let's update the packages. Is that the only way of executing Windows APIs? So NIM's Windows APIs and COM library. However, I'm happy to introduce my new project, so that's not the official thing. But seems like it's a wrapper for that guy, which can be nice and can help us with doing things. So I'm just gonna leave that as it is. So let's go back, do process injection using nim. Let's see how that thing is working. Yeah, we went through that already. Alright. Alright, so that's how we genuinely import the Windows library, but I'm afraid we did that and something went wrong. So, not that. Yeah, cannot open file, we need lean. So let's Google that error and let's see how to fix it. Yeah, maybe we're gonna need to install that package there to invoke Windows APIs. We have packages, yeah, no, without Git, with Git on Windows, Nimbo install Winim. We did that, but it just did not work. Then without Git, download and zip, start the console, and do Nimbo install. So maybe that's something like the Python, the pip install our requirements. So you define your requirements in a file and just install all of them like that. And that's what it is. So we have Winim, which is the core library, and then we can import specific sub libraries there. Nice. So that's how it works. We don't need to pass anything else at the compiling side. So yeah. And that's how we invoke APIs. Just message box, bam. Alright. So we're gonna need to install that. Now, I'm not sure what I'm missing, but let's try it again. Now it's doing something else. It's downloading from Git, which is nice. And it's installed. So if I were to compile my code again, it should not get any kind of problems. Arguments can only be given. Yeah, alright. And we compiled that successfully. Now, here let's try to invoke that message box just to see that everything's been working. Oops. Just like that. Paste it here. Compile again. Start.txt. And we have the message box. Alright, that's nice. Now the first thing that happened is we can see that everything gets executed and it paused the execution of the thread. So when that message box spawned, the execution of the nim paused. And now if I were to kill the message box, it resumes now. Alright, so let's try something else. If I do Control C, the message box is killed. Alright, so we're gonna need to find a way to make it asynchronous. So we're gonna run the shellcode while like the thread to run it as a separate process maybe. But that's way too advanced for now. We just need to find a way to run it. So we have the Windows APIs. So let's try nim virtual alloc. That's the virtual protect. Where is the mem copy? Is that a nim syntax maybe? I'm not sure. That's a 100% C syntax. I bet it's a C. So if I, just for the sake of testing, I'm gonna copy that right away. Yeah. So let me try to declare like our shellcode is gonna be equal to test. Yeah. All right. If I were to click on virtual walk, I was hoping to get to the NIMS version of implementing that, but I'm not lucky. So let's try to find something else. Good. All right. Well, so let's start with the basic again. What's the signature for virtual walk? So virtual walk, we can use the C examples for that. So I'm gonna cat like that and do sr.c. And we can see we have virtual walk is gonna be equal to 0. That's gonna automatically assign where it's gonna be the first set of bytes that the shellcode is gonna be written into. We have the size of the buffer, mem commit, and page read write execute. So I'm gonna do it like that, paste it like that, and call that thing buff here. And we need to see how we specify flags, and that's it. Type mismatch, but expecting one of proc virtual walk LP address, LP void, size t. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 arguments. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. I'm not sure what you want. Expression 0 is a type of int literal. Huh. What do you want? Mm. So we need LP address, LP void. So, hmm. Virtual walk. So that header, empty header. What is that? Hmm. I think that's not the best example we can learn from. So I think it wants to handle as an input instead of a string. Yeah, maybe you're right. We're passing a raw integer there, and it wants an LP void. Like, I'm just wondering how to pass that. So what is that pointer there? Maybe you're right. All right, let's try that. Var buff handle is going to be equal to 0, and then we're going to type buff here. And not the case. Got handle int vitero and int vitero, but expected one of. So we have LP void, we have size t, we have d word, and we have d word. And that whole thing is returning an LP void as well. So let me try to see nim LP void. How to use that? All right, that's from Fabian's post. If you watch it, greetings, man. Hope you're doing fine. So yeah, we're gonna need LP void. So let's see now. Virtual walk. Hmm. Yeah, here we define a pointer, I believe. That's the stop sign here. Handle. Maybe that's we define a signature for the APIs, but that's virtual walk X. So maybe we're gonna allocate the memory on the remote space. So we are needing for just for simplicity, we're gonna need that virtual awok, not awok x. So let me just leave that for now a little bit and search for virtual. No, not nothing here. So we'll pivot this pointer, yeah. Nim define pointers, pointer types, nim forum. Let's see how they work here. Permanently they both are PTR and PTRA. Here I guess PTR is going to be PTRA. That's the question. PTR without anything is a type class. Perhaps it would have been better to use some PTR instead of PTRT. It's the same as PTRT pointer, is just the untyped pointer like sysvoid. That thing is getting complicated. It seems to me that in fact it's through generic type defined type classes. This seems to arise from auto generics. Let me give you a simple example. So we have type rational A is going to be equal to object. That's having maybe two fields. I'm not sure I get lost here. Let's do nim pivot, yeah. Converting nim string to C voids. Maybe that's not what we want. But let's see it. And let's get back to that. Alright, so let me just see the problem. It expects LP address, is going to be LP void, the size t, d word, and d word. Alright, now in the C program, it returned like the pointer. Let me try it like that. So var awok ptr is going to be equal to virtual awok. Alright. Strange. Never mind. Let's see that expression has no type or is ambiguous, and we still have that error. That both is type of handle. Let's do a pivot. Alright. Got mismatch, got individual for 0, but expected LP void is gonna be equal to pointer. So we're gonna need some kind of pointer there, obviously. Let's do it again. Nim Windows API virtual awok. Now nothing else. Let me try to pretty much copy that. Type mismatch. Oh, come on. Let me copy that and see what the Google can offer me. What is the special stats? Oh, come on, I need nim. Mhm. It's missing LP void. That thing is getting out of control. Let's see how the LP void is configured here. Mhm. What is that big handle there? What if I do just that? Var new p handle is going to be equal to handle. Var buff is going to be LP void. Now, the definition of buff. Previously declaration here. And I need to pretty much store the shellcode somewhere. So maybe that's not the right way of doing things, because here as for in the C examples, and I strongly believe that the API should be called really similar from the C. So on the C example, we can see that we have a void pointer that calls virtual alloc and specifies. Oh, so yeah, virtual alloc is the one that pretty much allocates memory. We are still not writing the shellcode. So we are allocating the size of the shellcode, right? So let me go back here and let's try with the very basic. Let me just go and try to type shellcode. Let's go to my carry and copy the values there. So let's copy that is in format C#. And I believe that should be fine. Let me do echo shellcode just to see if it works. Maybe not. So I'm afraid I'm gonna be needing to do that. So like that, like that. Closing quotes. Compile it. It does compile. If I do stuff.txt, we can print the shellcode. Nice. So let's bring up that. So we're gonna need to invoke three APIs. First, we're gonna need to do virtual alloc. Then we're gonna do memcopy, and then we're gonna either do create remote thread, or I'm completely not sure what's the syntax variant of nim of executing the shellcode. Not sure. It can be with create remote thread, wait for single object. Not sure. We're just gonna see that. I'm not needing that name anymore. I'm not needing that test method anymore. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. Now type mismatch string for ASD but expected LP void equals pointer. So what if I do it to no? Doesn't work. No, doesn't work. None. Not. Maybe. nim define LP void pointer. Let's see what this guy is doing. Or maybe we need to do it the same way. So we need to define type. All right, and then here we're just gonna go with buff is gonna be equal. Where I was watching such example, type, yeah, something like that. So we're gonna do like buff is gonna be equal buff pointer is gonna be equal to LP void. All right, if I do it like that, and it's expecting LP void, DV size, size T. All right, let's do it. Size is gonna be equal size T. Then only on that buff is crying about something. So maybe we should start from there without following all of examples. So it requires LP void, but it's type description. Hmm, not that. Type mismatch. Got type description buff int, but expecting one of proc virtual awk LP address void size T dword that address LP void. First type mismatch at position 1, so we have first. Yeah, that's why I started to pretty much go there and define a bunch of things. But expression buff is of type description buff. Hmm. I know if I've opened that already, but I want to see something. So VirtualWalk. So what that new is? Nim new. Let's search for where is the search? Yeah, here new. What the fuck? Just give me the results, man. Come on. Nim, what is new? I believe that's no. I genuinely believe that's no, but I just want to see for myself. So not new. Yeah, I am gonna suggest that that's no. All right, so I'm gonna paste that new here, and it worked. It worked. I'm gonna do shellcode because we want the size of the shellcode variable. mem commit page execute read write. Is that what we're gonna need? All right. Then let's go with nim mem copy. So instead of a 0, we passed no there. That's nice. So let's see the next one. Mem copy. I saw that it's the same as the C, so let's try that. But we're gonna need the pointer. All right. So let's do var result. It's gonna be equal to that. Now it's gonna cry. Is declared but never used. All right. So mem copy results. All right. Then we're gonna specify the shellcode itself and the size of the shellcode. Do I miss something? No, that's it. And it cried about something. So let's see now. We have mem copy unknown declared. That's strange. Hmm. Oh, it's copy mem. So we are following the wrong example. All right. So copy mem allocated. So copy mem is gonna be equal to s in our case. Then it's gonna be equal to payload, which is passed like that. But in our case, it's shellcode. And then we're gonna do len payload. So len shellcode. Let's see now. Which I believe should be the same as size of, but not sure why there is with the len. So something is not okay as well. So this source. Alright, so we have destination, then we have source pointer, then we have size natural. First type mismatch at position 2 requires type for source pointer, but expression shellcode is of type string. So how do we save? So we have var payload is going to be equal to array and something into byte. All right. And then yeah, that's the point. Let's do it once again. So I'm just going to comment that thing out. Var shellcode is going to be equal to array of 460 because that's how bytes we generated from the carry box. If I were to go here and yeah, 460. Now we're gonna do specify it's a byte. Now we're gonna equal and specify it's a byte again, I believe. So we have brackets here, byte, and paste the shellcode there. Looks nice. So let me just copy it like that, byte, and paste it right away. I hope that it's not gonna cry for something. So just gonna save it. And now the error went off, which is nice. And the next step is to find a way to execute that. So let me just compile to see if everything is going fine. Invalid indentation. So it's on line 12, which is that, of course. So maybe, come on. Maybe that. What's the indentation here? So we have our payload. It's gonna be array, not gonna equal. All right. and then equals, and then yeah, now it should be fine. But now the next thing, write again. Or maybe the whole idea is kind of slow when you save things. It takes time before changes, so maybe I believe I'm gonna be just fine now. But we have invalid indentation as well. So we have line 13. Let that be here, as the example points out. Come on. We have var payload. In our case, it's var shellcode. It's gonna be array 460, right? Of byte equals that, and then specify byte and your shellcode, and then like that. And that's the very same example from the web. So let's try that. All right, now we have different type of error. So we have expected one of block copy mem, destination, source pointer, size natural. All right, and the expression shellcode is of type array byte. In the previous thing where I did it like that, it did not complain, but I'm sure that it's not gonna work. Just have that strange feeling. So yeah, it's not gonna happen. So let me just compile to verify that we're on the same track, so we don't have indentation errors. Hey Nico, how are you doing, man? Happy to see you here, man. So copy mem is, how can I see actually a type of something? So nim type of variable. Hmm. Type that name. So we're gonna import that. I have an idea. We're gonna import that, and then we're gonna do type that name. So here I'm gonna go and type echo res that type that name. I'm gonna comment these things out and compile again. Now if I do run start.exe, we can see we have LP void, which is nice. So it's complaining about what exactly? Of that, shellcode is type array, but must be pointer. So we must define a pointer maybe to point to the shellcode. Maybe. So let's see how it's being implemented here. Where is it? Yeah. So we have copy mem payload.addr. So I think that can do the work. Shellcode 0 is gonna catch the first element, and we're gonna pass the ADR of that first element there. I'm not sure if that's the correct syntax, but it looks like that is. So let me compile that thing, and it works. All right. So now we need to invoke that thing and execute it. So let f is gonna be equal to cast proc and nimco allocated. So maybe that's the syntax of pretty much running the shellcode on nim. All right. Come on. And here we're gonna do that f is gonna be equal cast, and that syntax is really strange. Proc And now another curly brackets, nim-co. I'm not sure what that even is. Dot, finish the curly brackets, and rest in our case. All right, that should be fine. So let me just compile that. And now if I do start.txt, let me set up a listener, let's see what's gonna happen. ncmvop443 and run that. Nothing, because we have that message box, and if something was to get executed, we will not see the message box, so that's how we're gonna know that we have a shell. And it was not executed, so let's see if we are missing something. Oh, we have to call it, of course, and then F. Now, if everything is alright after compilation and after execution, the message box should hang and we should get a shell back. Yeah, no message box, which is nice, and most likely we have a shell. Nice! So, whew, that's a awfully bad syntax. I'm so pissed off about that. I cannot see, I cannot understand that strange syntax there. Well, so let's walk through the code and discuss it once again. So let me just kill the shell. And so first thing is that's how we import things, and we needed to install that initially because we were not able to access Win APIs. That's a test method which pretty much executes a command and gets the output of the command into a variable, which is really simple in nim, just like that. So we can perform stages way easier than in C, but we're gonna leave that for another stream because I'm already struggling for like more than half an hour. Then we define a shellcode like that, and I'm gonna actually delete that thing here. Actually, home, like that, all right. Now to define a shellcode, we do it like var shellcode is gonna be array of bytes. We define the byte size, and byte size we get it from DMSF Venom from here, and then we then say it's byte explicitly. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen if we don't. So I'm gonna remove that and compile again. All right, so we have an error, so that's why we're gonna need to say it's byte again. Not sure why the syntax is that strange, but that's how it works. Never mind. So we say it's byte again, then we just need to remove the shellcode because we actually don't need it. Now we define above to be LP void, just like that. All right. And then we defined the res pointer. The pointer is going to be called res, and that's going to be the start address of the virtual allocated memory. So we call the API virtual alloc. We specify null here, which by any means in nim is called new. Not sure why, but it's the way it is. And then we define the size of shellcode. So pretty much the length of shellcode and the size of shellcode should be equal. We define the size of the shellcode, which is going to be 460 in that case. We define mem commit, mem page execute read write. These are standard flags from Windows APIs. And what do you want? Then we just remove the. That's how, by the way, you can get the type value of some variable. What type is it? We don't need it anymore. And now the function broke again. So expected one of server, we have data source pointer size natural, and the last one is being size of. Yeah, exactly. So len and size of are two functions for doing quite the same thing. I'm not sure why there are two functions doing the same thing, but never mind, it's the way it is. Then we have defined a let f, or this can be anything. We cast it to, I'm not sure what that is. Let's see how that works. Proc nim prox nim by example. Maybe that's not it. Nope, never mind. Oh, wait a minute. That's the function declaration. Yeah, so we define a proc function with no arguments. I'm not sure what that nim_co is actually doing. So let's go Google nim_co. I feel so stupid right now. Me too, man. I can totally relate. So call function is necessary to know how. Yeah, in practice they don't have to worry about much. Alright, so where is the thing we want? Also, we can do like some kind of a similar C syntax, but that's not the point. I want to see what that nim_co is actually doing. Maybe I have missed something. Let's see. Let's try to nim_co. The thing is that if I want to put nim_co pragmas to the sync back tuple, I won't be able to write. And it's not answered here. Never mind, so that's not gonna give the straight answer. So one thing that pisses me off is that they have not so well documented things. So for example, if I were to go to nim documentation, which is by the way a plus and a minus, because when we're talking about offensive coding and we have something like that, which is hard to code and implement, it's kind of harder than C and C sharp and all the other languages. When you see something like that, the chances of people doing malwares and all kind of C2 agents and many more on NIM is lower because it's harder, it's new, it's not that easy. Which means that it's gonna evade a lot of antiviruses because it's not the standard like MS7 and payload. Actually, we're gonna test that with the anti-scan beam, but it's gonna get called by our antivirus because we're using the stageless payload from MS7, but we're gonna still test it out and compare with the C. So with the C, the shellcode runner in C was like having 16 out of 26 detection rate, and we're gonna see about NIM. But first, I wanna see what's about that NIM coating there. Ooh, download. No, I'm not needing the download. Let's go to the forum. Let's search for nim_co. So can it be something like interfering with the low-level kernel things? Because it's been explained here that C assembler calling convention nim choose when generating C function call from nim procedure. So let me try that thing out. How to navigate? Where is the nim call? Nim call C, C++ and calling conventions they are explained here. All right. Oh, don't make me read Wikipedia. Calling conventions used in programming. So apparently that nim_co there is a way of interacting, as I said, with the lower level of the operational system. And it makes a sense now, because here we allocate a memory, here we copy the shellcode into the memory, and here we run that shellcode. So We are already on the memory level, and on the memory level, we're gonna need C. So that nim code there is, I believe, some kind of way to interact with the C compiler and directly engage with the memory. I believe so. And we need to pass the pointer. So it chains the things together. So res is a pointer, I believe so. Yeah, I'll pivot. And we just call F, which is gonna go to the entry point of the res and call it. I'm not sure if that's the case. I'm gonna be so happy if you guys prove me wrong or say what that is. If you know, of course. But that thing is working. So let me just try it one more time and then upload it to anti-scan me to see what's gonna happen. Let's set up the listener once again. ncmbop 443 and do start.txt. Alright, it hanged. We get a shell. Nice. Good. So let's go to anti-scan me. Browse and hope the API is working that time. nim actually hello world start.txt scan file, and it's not available. The thing we're gonna do now is test that against my Windows Defender on the Windows 10 client, because that's the best thing I have so far. So on the Windows 10 client, we're gonna open that up. We're gonna make sure that the Defender is running, and we're gonna test that thing out to see if we can bypass even one. I'm not sure what's up with that anti-scam interface so far, but while I was uploading videos like several, like 3 videos, I was having the same issue, which is that, for instance, I just make a video, do something like a bypass or antivirus, so some bypass technique, and upload it to anti-scam me, bam, it's not working. So, not sure what's going on, but maybe they're having so many requests they can handle, or there is something going on. Never mind. So the point is that I'm not having VM tools now, so I'm gonna need to download the shellcode manually, the exe, which is fine. Python m http server 80, my IP is 254.150. So I'm gonna do PowerShell. I'm gonna see the desktop. I'm gonna make sure my Defender is running. Go to manage setting, real-time protection is being on. Now let's go and do invoke web request, HTTP 192.168. Alright, and then type, what was it? Start.txt. Out file, start.txt. And we get code. I believe that. I believe we get code because of the known signature in the file. So here, as you can see, we defined the raw shellcode, which is even in format C#, and that's with a known signature for a lot of the antivirus. What I'm thinking about the next stream is we're gonna do a staging in nim, and I know that's gonna be fun. I have a bunch of idea how that's gonna be done, and that's with the execcmdx, because that's a way easier way of passing the output of the command to a variable, and I know that's gonna be fun. We're gonna go through the code, make it a little bit nicer, refactor it a little bit, and I'm thinking of closing the stream for now. So let me try one more thing, one more time to upload something to anti-scan me. Scan file is not working. So when it does work, I'm gonna make sure to upload that file and tweet about the detection rate, but so far I can do nothing more. So it went almost 2 hours. Guys, really thank you for watching and stay with me here and helping me with the nim syntax and stuff. I really appreciate you, all of you. That stream is gonna be uploaded to my YouTube if you wanna see something. And that was pretty much me struggling and debugging on real time, but we learned something. We learned how that structures, how that the function is made, how to pass an argument to functions, how to define pointers, and how to pretty much invoke Windows APIs, which I can say is not less, it's not a little. We learned quite a bunch of things. We learned it the hard way, but you know, that's how I most likely learn, and most usually learn that way. So thank you so much, and I'm gonna see you in the next one, guys. See ya.